Good day, everyone, and welcome to another session on research methods. Today, we shall have the third part of the lecture discussion on the concepts and principles underpinning research report writing, and proposal making. Today, we shall focus on the second phase of the process of research, which is the planning phase. So if you will have to base it on the illustrative depiction of the sets of phases that uh, relate to the process of research, after having fulfilled the requirements of the conceptualization phase with the defining of the problem, reviewing interrelated literature and studies, and formulating hypotheses as essential steps in the process, we proceed to the task of selecting research design. So let's get started. So let us begin with the definition of research design. So as we have discussed it previously, a research design is the blueprint of any research project. So when we say blueprint, it will serve the purpose of providing the framework and that which you create in order to seek answers to your research questions. In the work of Miller, he provided the following for definition of research design. So research design as a planned sequence of the entire process involved in conducting research. So it is to be noted that it is a procedure that which you follow, okay, in the overall process involved in pursuit of research. Okay, so it is a framework or blueprint for conducting a research project. So it details the procedures necessary for obtaining the information needed to structure or solve research problems. Okay, in other words, it is the general plan. It's the overall plan on how you will have to go about the process of research yourself. So in a similar in the same token, okay, Kierlinger and Green and Tal offered their expert opinion, okay, about the definition of research as follows. Let's begin with that of Kierlinger. So according to Kierlinger, research design is the plan, structure, and strategy of investigation conceived so as to obtain answers to research questions and to control variance. Okay, so it is the structure upon which you course through your research question, which is known as your method. It's which is why one of the characteristics that we have in relation relative to research is methodical. Okay, so methodical meaning it is something that is based on the application of a method or a technique, okay, in going about the process of answering the research question. Similarly, Green and Tal provided the following. Research as the specification of methods and procedures for acquiring the information needed. So it is appealing to the problem-solving nature of any research undertaking. It is the overall operational pattern or framework of the project, stipulating what information is to be collected from which sources and by what procedures. So with this all, with this for basis of our understanding, it is important that we also note of what are the importance of or the need for research design. Okay, so it is necessary because it facilitates the smooth sailing of the various research operations, and in this way, it makes the research as efficient as possible, yielding maximal information with minimal expenditure of effort, time, and money. So we talk about effectiveness and efficiency. So we talk about on one hand, okay, our being able uh, to address our problems, okay, in the most economical and precise way. So research design has significant impact, okay, on the reliability of the results obtained. It thus acts as a firm foundation for the entire research. So it stands for advanced planning of the methods to be adopted for collecting the relevant and techniques to be used in their analysis. So the need for research design actually reduces inaccuracy. It helps to get maximum efficiency and reliability, eliminating bias and marginal errors. Okay, it as well minimizes wastage of time, and it is helpful for collecting research materials. Additionally, it is also uh, helpful for testing of hypotheses and giving of ideas regarding the type of resources required in terms of the different resources required in conducting research. Lastly, it provides an overview to other experts and guides the research in the right direction. So, summing it all up, the purposes of research design, okay, are the following. Number one, it provides a scheme, and that is to ensure, okay, research quality. Okay. Also, it maintains control to avoid bias that may affect, okay, one outcome. Okay. Then it organizes the study in a way defending the advantages of doing while being aware and caution about the potential advantages. Okay, so that highlights the purposes of research design. Now we talk about the function. Okay, so what's the use of research design? So number one, it ensures that requisite data in accordance with the problem at hand is collected accurately and economically. Okay, so the second time we talk about economical and on the other hand accurate. Okay, so it basically uh, aids in ensuring accurate and economical conduct of research, particularly insofar as data collection and the analysis and interpretation of which is concerned. So, in summary, okay, simply put, it is the framework, again, a blueprint for the research study guiding the collection and analysis of data. So the research design, depending upon the needs of the researcher, may be a very detailed statement or only furnish the minimum information required for planning the research project. With this for basis of understanding the requirements of the research design, it is to be noted that effective research design should include, number one, statement of objectives of the study or the research output. So the researcher has to be clear about the objectives of this study or the research output. Okay, so this would provide, okay, the foundation, okay, for uh, the conduct of research and the activities required in the process. Second, statement of data inputs required on the basis of the research problem is to be solved. Okay? So an awareness of the data required to answer the research question. And finally, the methods of analysis which shall be used to treat and analyze the data input. So we now talk about the techniques on how to gather and analyze, okay, the data, okay, that will answer your research question. So talking about research design, we have it in four fundamental types. We have explanatory, we have descriptive, we have diagnostic, and experimental. Let's begin with explanatory. Simply, uh, simply stated, okay, explanatory, okay, involves a systematic and scientific approach in enabling the researcher to determine the reality of an idea. So it provides hypothesis, it provides suggestions that might never occur, okay, um, in yeah, and it sets limit, okay, which sets limits for themselves, okay, and have limits imposed by practical matter. So in simple terms, explanatory, okay, design, okay, attempts to provide an explanation, okay, relative to the occurrence of a phenomenon or an event, okay. And it is it uses, okay, uh, hold on, okay, so it is based on the researcher's personal judgment and obtaining information about something, okay. So this involves the looking for unexplored situation and bringing it to the eyes of the people, okay, so as to make the people aware of what they might have not seen, okay, or they might not have understood about a particular situation, a phenomenon, or an event. And in this type of research, there is no need for hypothesis formulation. Okay, so think about that. Secondly, we talk about descriptive research design. So in descriptive research design, a researcher is interested in describing a particular situation or phenomena under study. And this is a theoretical type of design based on the collection, designing, and presentation of collected data. So descriptive research design covers characteristics such as people, okay, socioeconomic characteristics, okay, such as age, educational status, okay, income, and the like. So it may also involve qualitative nature data that is mostly collected, like knowledge, attitude, beliefs, and opinions of people. Okay, so this is for descriptive studies. It is rigid and it is involving probability sampling design. It is also pre-planned design for analysis. It also involves pre-planned design for analysis. Okay, and it's based on a structured instrument and the advance, okay, decision about operating procedure. Okay, and then we have experimental or diagnostic research. Okay, diagnostic design. Okay, uh, diagnostic is where the researcher wants to know about the root causes of the problem. Okay, describing the factors responsible for the problem situation. So it is uh, all about problem solving, okay, and it is consists mainly of the following, okay, uh, following main requirements or main stages of problem solving process that begins with the emergence of the problem and then followed by the diagnosis, and then based on what had been diagnosed about the problem, the solution, and finally we have the suggestion for the problem solution. Finally, we have the experimental research design. Experimental, okay, in this type of research design, it is often used in natural science, but it is different in social sciences. Okay, so note that human behavior cannot be measured through laboratory procedures, while the social researcher use a method of experiment in that type of research design. Okay, so one group is subjected to experiment, okay, called independent variables, while others is considered as control group called dependent variables. So it's a study where the researcher manipulates on the variances and measures variables. Okay, so that talks about independent and dependent variables. So the result obtained by the comparison of both the two groups, both have the cause and effect relationship between each other, but is not, okay, into causation. So with that as our with these types of research design, we now um, we now talk about the advantages. Okay? So with this research design, okay, we maximize limited time. Okay. Number two, it ensures project time schedule. So it enables us to fulfill the requirements, okay, of a project, you know, based on a particular timetable. It also assists the researcher in preparing him to carry out research in a proper and systematic way, and where better documentation of the various activities while project work is going on is ensured. Also, it helps in proper planning of the resources and their procurement in the right time, and provide satisfaction and confidence accompanied with a sense of success, you know, from beginning of the work of the research project. So given this concepts and principles underpinning research design, we now talk about the requirements of the third chapter of the UL prescribed report, based on the third chapter of the UL research report format. So the research design, okay, is embodied in the third chapter